much rather face the pitcher than Austin Riley.
The bat, the pitcher, Mike.
And Austin, look at the pitcher, a bloop, of course that would happen. Hey everyone, hope you all are doing well. Welcome to another New York Mets franchise mode, episode 34. After episode 33 went bad in a hurry. I mean, look at the way I out-hit the Braves 14-6, and still they win 5-4. Straining the bases loaded with Yoenis Cespedes swinging at ball 4, getting jammed up and in, definitely was a big deal. But then to cap it all off, Acuna hitting the home run at the other end, on the other side of the inning, definitely put me in the dirt, and I couldn't really come back from that. And as I said, the umpires did not help. I really felt that there were a lot of calls late that were called strikes that really shouldn't have been, put me on a lot tougher counts where, you know what, I had one less strike to play with, got me frustrated, made me expand the strike zone, and ultimately really hurt me in the long run. All right, so when we look at the lineup, I mean, this lineup obviously does not look as pretty as the others. Look at all the guys batting in the 100s. That definitely is not the way, the starters look. But, as I've said plenty of times, the bench is not great, and I have not done great with the bench to make it even worse, and especially guys like Dom Smith or Cespedes. Cespedes should not be hitting 139, because I'll tell you what, if Cespedes does hit 139, obviously if baseball comes back and if Cespedes actually is healthy, I really wouldn't expect that, because you know what, the way his contract is now with everything being incentive-based, I really feel that Cespedes will do well and won't kind of just be slacking and have a 140 average, because if he does, that definitely will hurt. I believe that if the Mets do get the real Cespedes, the Cespedes that we had grown accustomed to, the one that usually does pretty well and carries the team, and they're much differently offensively with and without him, that he's going to put up really good numbers, and that definitely will be a nice boost to the Mets lineup. I mean, obviously the Mets lineup was one of the better ones we've seen in recent memory, but you know what, it wasn't perfect, it wasn't amazing, so why not try to upgrade it? And I do believe that Cespedes could definitely bring that to the table. And I definitely do think that it is important for Cespedes to do well, because we can't guarantee that all these young guys are going to be good again. Like, I still, as much as I love Alonso, it is so hard to replicate the season he had, and it's even harder to do better than he did. I mean, hitting 53 home runs, not everybody does that. He led the league in home runs for a reason. So being able to do that again is very difficult. I always go back to Aaron Judge, because he has not been able to replicate that since. And I also think that, can J.D. Davis give you a 300 average again? Can McNeil give you a 300 average again? I feel like McNeil probably can, but can Conforto hit 30 home runs again? I mean, he probably can, but no guarantees. You don't know who else is going to get hurt, who else is going to be in slumps. Can you get another full healthy season at Wilson Ramos where he bats almost 300? Can Rosario bat almost 300 again? You know what? There's definitely a lot of question marks, because the thing is that guys like Alonso, guys like JD or Rosario, this is their first time doing it. It's not like a Freddie Freeman who puts up great numbers every single year and you know that he's going to. You don't necessarily know that because they haven't done it for a long time. So there definitely still is question marks for this young lineup, and that's why having a veteran that can get the job done like Cespedes, as he makes a nice play there in the corner, is really positive for the team going forward. And he's young, so and you know what? The Braves, they're so smart to lock him up early where they could get him for a much lower value, because I feel like going forward, that's going to be one of those contracts that's like, that guy is underpaid. When you see the way the market changes and how salaries just go up and up year to year, and it's going to be where just because of TV deals and salaries going up, players that are significantly less as good as Acuna are going to be making more money than him. So that's going to be puzzling. The differential in the really good players and the rookies, their salaries is drastic. So, I mean, even though Acuna isn't getting paid what he should, it's still way more than what he was getting. So he was willing to accept the deal, especially the fact that it's a long-term deal. And it definitely was worth it, and it's why I have been pleading pretty much for the Mets to do the same thing with some of their young guys like Alonso and McNeil, where it's like, first of all, you should lock these guys to an extension regardless, because you need them going forward. And the other thing is that since the Mets do love saving their money, I mean, if they do want to keep them, now would be the time to do it, where they could get them at a cheaper cost. So I don't really see what the problem is. It just really doesn't make sense to me, because you look at how the Braves have done also with Ozzie Albies, and like I said, the White Sox have done it. So I don't really know what the Mets are waiting for, honestly. It's interesting thinking about the calls that the umpires had against me the last game, and I just happened to be watching a video called MLB Dumb Plays. It was a compilation of just some really puzzling plays by plenty of players. And there actually was a couple with umpires, which I thought was really fascinating because these particular plays took place before replay. And I think that's a really big thing. Of course, we get a good pop on a hanging slider. JD should crush that. But there was a play at first base where Todd Helton was completely off the bag, but he caught the ball, and he kind of just started like running off the field, and the umpire called the hitter out, where Helton was nowhere near the bag. So that was one thing right there. And Don Mangley's coming out to argue, but there wasn't much you could argue back in the day because there was no instant replay. So I thought that was really interesting. And then there was another play. It was a Yankee Twin playoff series where Joe Mauer hits a foul ball. Well, it was ruled a foul ball to left field as a fly ball. And Melky Cabrera's coming on trying to make a play. And the ball hits Cabrera's glove in fair territory in left field. Speaking of umpires, how is that a ball? But after Cabrera, it goes off his glove. It then bounces into, oh God, come on, Nito, wake up. Make that play, please. Okay, 2 out. The ball, after hits Cabrera's glove, it bounces in fair territory and then, you know, kind of like rolls foul into the corner and whatnot. And they have playoff umpires because there's an umpire in left field, and he calls the ball foul, and it was literally right in front of his face. Like, he couldn't be much closer. I mean, that's the whole point why you have outfield umpires in the playoffs. This way you don't miss calls like that. And he did anyway, but you couldn't argue it. There was no replay back then, so it's just very interesting because, you know, I've talked a lot about how baseball definitely has changed in recent years. And that right there is such a perfect example. Like, there was nothing you could do about it. So, I mean, you understand the institution of replay to get these calls right, no doubt. But, I don't know. I mean, it depends, like, who you're rooting for and what the situation is. Because there are some times where you kind of miss the old days where it's like, you know what, the umpires really saved us there. Whether you're, like, a Twin fan with Joe Mauer or a Rocky fan with Todd Helton. Like, okay, the umpires definitely helped us out there with a missed call. But then on the flip side, if you're a Yankee fan or if you're a Dodger fan, you're like, oh, come on, what are these umpires doing? We need replay. You know, these guys stink and whatnot. Like, you can definitely understand both sides of the argument. So it's just one of those things that really has changed. And I find it very interesting that with what's going on in the world right now, with the baseball possibly trying to bring the sport back, one of the things they definitely have considered is the robot umpire. And I just wonder how, like, let's say that does happen, and they have the robot umpire for this Arizona or Florida league, whatever they're doing. And what if the players actually like it better? Because they're getting more calls right, pitchers are doing better. I don't know, maybe it's more enjoyable, which I don't really think it is. I feel like as much as I, you know, rage at the umpires in this series, I do like the old school aspect of it, of just having an umpire there. And I understand that maybe for this not really spring training, but this Arizona, Florida thing, they will just have the robot umpire, no umpire actually there. And then they'll still have the robot strike zone, but have someone behind there saying ball strike, just to kind of make it resemble the old stuff. But I don't know, for me, obviously, as I've said, they've changed baseball a lot in recent years. I don't want to change it too much because then how much of it is still really baseball? That's the thing that I always want to go back to, because they've changed the sport so much and we're quick to forget. And the thing is that I guess as long as it's still pitcher throws ball, hitter hits ball, goes around the bases, and someone tries to catch it or throw him out, I guess it still will always be baseball. And there's our first base run of the game. A walk for Robinson Cano. Oh my gosh, it's a miracle. We got on base. Conforto. Oh wow, good squared up. Who the heck cares, honestly? I mean, really. I'm so done with this game. I feel like I'm making a good move here. Let me intentionally walk the hitter, face the pitcher, and the pitcher gets an RBI on a pitch out of the strike zone with bad timing. Really? JD goes the other way. I'm going to have to stop there. Markakis' arm is way too strong. Ball 4, back-to-back walks to start off the inning. And they're going to pull him right there. Go to the left-hander and A.J. Minton. And there it is. Double play ball. Thank you. Awesome. Great. Cespedes takes it the other way. That one falls to tie up the game. Fastball right down the middle. Good, good. Thank you. Jeez Louise. Look at Cespedes. J.D. Davis. Good squared up line out to center field, really. Tomas Nido drives it out to left field. Perfect, perfect. It's out of here. Tomas Nido, go ahead, home run. We're up 2-1. Oh my goodness, what an unexpected homer. Line drive, 105.6 mile per hour exit velocity. Holy moly. I was strongly considering pitch hitting Ramos there, only because when else was I going to use Ramos? If anything, it would be to pinch hit for Tomas Nido. But I was thinking, what if, like, in the 9th inning or possibly even extra innings, I'm going to have to go to him. I stick with Tomas Nido. I was down in the count, worked my way back to a full count, threw me a pitch to hit. I pressed the swing button. My timing was finally good, and it was actually a perfect. Gets out of here. Tomas Nido, first home run of the year, first RBI of the year. Who knows, maybe the only, because it definitely has been rough sailing with him, but I will gladly take that. And man, still is hitless on the season. But we do get a run courtesy of Tomas Nido. Definitely was very unexpected. Hopefully I could close this out. Okay. 0-2 from Lugo. Popped up right behind the plate. Tomas Nido is there. Makes the catch and the inning is over. Able to escape a little bit of a jam. Lugo throws a scoreless eighth. You always get nervous when it's Markakis at the plate because we know he's given me a lot of trouble during this entire franchise run, and I really don't want him to get a base hit there because then we would have been in big trouble. After all that work to get the lead, don't want to lose it right away. As Nimmo drives one out to center field, perfect. Acuna going back, track wall, it's out of here! Brandon Nimmo leaves the yard for his 5th home run of the year. A very nice shot to the batter's eye out in center field, seeing the apple go up. 434 feet, 107.5 mile per hour exit velocity. Nimmo had been doing really well in the Miami series. I had a couple strikeouts with him today, but that was a very nice home run right there. We definitely want as much cushion as we could get because we're going to have Edwin Diaz in the 9th inning go up against that middle of that order of Freeman, Acuna, Ozuna. So I definitely want all the runs I could get before then. Ooh, he plunks Robinson Cano right in the buttocks right there. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but we will take a base right. Look at this one. Look at that. Oh, man, right on the... I'm trying to do that right. I think that's the right buttock. I guess you could say that's a pain in the... You can fill in the rest.
0-1's the count.
That one bounces in the dirt. Runners can't advance. Let's go, throw the ball to the pitcher. Let's get on with it. You see Flowers, he's thinking about it. He's like, should I throw it? Okay, let's do it now. Like, what was that? I'm trying to finish this game up and move on with our lives. Oh, Conforto. That one gets through the hole. I'm going to send Rosie. He's got that speed. He is safe, and that's an RBI single for Michael Conforto. So a little more insurance runs. Again, trying to give Edwin Diaz as much of a lead as I can to work with. Oh, JD puts one through the hole, and I'm going to send Nunez. See what that Ozuna arm is all about. Going to be a close play, but he's in there safe. RBI single for JD Davis, and now we're ahead 5-1. So after being able to get literally nothing across for most of the game, we're starting to wake up here in this 8th inning.
The catcher, Shaba. Nido.
They're afraid of Nido now after hitting that home run. They know he's a dangerous hitter. Wow, missed that one.
2 strikes.
Nido, slow roller, Swanson, missed the bag, and all of a sudden everybody's safe. Oh, wow. Interesting. That's a base hit right there, so might as well go to Alonso, right, with the bases juiced. That was crazy. Swanson tried to step on second, but I guess it took him too long, or he missed it or whatever. Oh, my goodness. I tell you, the defense in this game is just crazy. And Alonso drives it deep left field. It's out of here. Grand slam. Oh, my goodness. Oh, that's a nice way to end this Braves series. Goodbye, Atlanta, for at least a little bit. I'll see you in a couple days, probably, with the way the schedule is. But Pete Alonso able to make the Atlanta Braves pay after some very sketchy defense from Dansby Swanson, bringing home everybody on one pitch. The reason why I went to Alonso there is obviously because there are runners on base, but also the fact that the bases are loaded. Because if you've been paying close attention during the series, it seems that they're always trying to avoid Alonso. You know what I mean? Like, they always pitch around him, they walk him. They don't really want to give him anything to hit. So in this scenario, I was like, all right, now they have to give me something, and they did, and I didn't miss it. So that was great right there. And this game that I was so scoreless forever, all of a sudden it's 9-1. And how many runs have we got in this 8th inning? Didn't we just bat around with Nimmo? Good to end it. I don't even know. What did we score? Like 8 runs? 7 runs in the inning? That's crazy. I'll take it. So all of a sudden, I'm not going to go to Edwin Diaz anymore. I'm going to go to sketchy Robert Gazelman to shut the door. Braves are down to their final strike. The 1-2 from Robert Gazelman. That one's hit. Nunez is there, and the ball game is over. Put it in the books. A very unexpected outcome to this game with Tomas Nido hitting the go-ahead home run, which at the time I felt was really big because it was a 1-1 game, all of a sudden a 2-1 game in the 7th inning, and I was like, all right, this is going to be a really close one. I'm going to have to pitch carefully and try to get a little bit of insurance to shut the door. Then all of a sudden we had a crazy 8th inning, scoring a ton of runs to really make this game a blowout all in all, and a good win and a nice way to end the series by winning it. And it was just a fun for Alonso to hit that grand slam at the end. I like that. That was just, just to add on right there. That definitely was cool. But I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, leave a like. Comment what do you think about baseball and robot umpires and all the different scenarios that they've tried to throw out for the sport coming back. And the Mets bench, and Robert Gazelman, who was so bad for me. I couldn't get that 6-out save the other time against the Marlins. But here he was facing Acuna, Ozuna, and Freeman, and he went 1-2-3 right through him like it was nothing. So that's just the way it is for the Mets. So, until the next one, subscribe to keep up with everything new, and be safe, be smart, be healthy, and have a good one, everyone.